This is Bumper to Bumper, the car show. Drive in anxious and cruise out confident. With the best automotive information for your vehicle. And now your hosts, Matt Allen and Dave Riccio.
Well, happy December, everybody. It is finally starting to feel a little bit like winter out there, I think. Still have my shorts on. It's a little chilly outside. Got some clouds, and finally winter's here. It can start to feel like December, although I thought it was supposed to be a record day today, 86 degrees or something, but maybe the weatherman was wrong. Who knows? But welcome to Bumper Radio. I am Matt Allen. Dave Riccio is not going to hang out with me today. He's out doing some stuff. So, of course, who's my backup man? That's Tim Nelson, Virginia Auto Service. What's happening, Tim?
Good morning.
Oh, you got to push that microphone button, Timmy. Come on, you're not.
Yeah, good morning, Bumper to Bumper listeners. I dabble in the weather sometimes, so it's going to be 81 and cloudy today.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. So, like I said, Bumper to Bumper Radio. I am Matt Allen. Tim Nelson from Virginia Auto Service is in here to help out today. And this show, as always, is on at 11 o'clock Saturdays, and we're here to help you with your car. I mean, it doesn't matter. You got a question, we're going to talk about some stuff. Maybe you got a whole bunch of things wrong with your car, or you think you have some stuff wrong with your car. You're not sure if you should fix it. Hey, maybe you want to go to that road trip over Christmas. You got to go over the river and through the woods to Grandma's house, and is the car going to make it? Or, hey, maybe you should just get a rental car. Anything you want to talk about, that's why we're here. 602-277-5827 is 602-277-KTAR. That's how you call us. That's how you get your questions answered. And then again, it doesn't matter what we're talking about. It's what you want to talk about, because the show's for you. You can text us as well at 411-923. And you can catch bumper-to-bumper-radio.com 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and look at or listen to some old podcasts. You can search for the shows based off topic and all kinds of stuff. So, Tim, I don't know what we're talking about today.
Well, we're going to talk a few things, but one of the things we were going to do, basically I was going to say about the holiday travel, just make sure that the car's looked at before you go on the road. Yeah. Especially if you haven't had any service lately, plan a week ahead of time, so if anything needs to be done, it can get done, so it doesn't ruin the road trip.
Yeah, you don't want to be that guy or that girl or woman, or you just don't want to be the people on the side of the road or at the gas station at the pump stuck because something silly happened that could have been prevented. I mean, hey, if the alternator is going to go bad or maybe the fuel pump or some of those electronic things, you can't. There's no crystal ball.
But you can prevent things like, have a tire issue, so you can have your tires checked, fluids checked, make sure your battery's checked. Yeah. All that stuff needs to be done. And then also have that stuff in the car, the water, the snacks, in case something does happen. Yeah. Blankets if you're going up north. We haven't seen any snow up there, but some of the cars or trucks that need some, chains if it does snow. So there's a checklist you need to start making before you make that road trip. Make sure that car's safe.
What I generally tell people, when you're calling the family and making the arrangements of who's going to sleep in what room or what hotel you're going to stay at, that's the time to start thinking about the car and make the appointment to get the car in. And, try and do that at least a week or two ahead of time. We're all human. Sometimes you make a mistake fixing the car, something else happens. Or we say, hey, Mr. Client, you know what? Let's just rent a car. And I'll tell you what, maybe, you might have a perfectly fine 2003 or 2007 or 99, whatever your transportation is. It doesn't matter. I've got some newer cars. Well, I don't have anything new. The oldest one's 7 years old. I mean, the newest one is 7 years already. But when you go on a road trip, or I've had to go travel somewhere and have to rent a car, it's nice to have a new car. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. You get all mad at the kids for spilling something. Heck with it, it's a rental car, right?
But any car needs any car, whether like you said, whether it's a '99 or a 2003, needs to be checked first. Look at Dave, for example. When he went to California, he has a brand new car.
Yeah, but he ran out of gas. That's his fault. Twice, by the way. Sorry, Dave. But. Yeah, so, I mean, there's just those things. Or maybe, just maybe think about this. You got your nice four-door sedan, and that's great for cruising around town, or maybe even your minivan. And you got the family of five in that, okay? And then you throw the dog in there. Maybe you take the dog on vacation. Then you get 4 or 5 suitcases. You got to get some Christmas gifts. And you're going for Christmas. You're probably going to come home maybe with a heavier payload than you left with. Think about this. Is your car just maxed out? I mean, it's loaded up. It's got all the weight in it. It's never loaded up like this. And it's not comfortable. Maybe everybody's crammed in the car. And guess what? When you get the car fully loaded, guess what doesn't happen? It doesn't accelerate as fast going up the hill. Certainly doesn't brake as fast, as stop as well as it could. And maybe your car doesn't have all the latest and greatest creature comforts that make it. So you're driving this 4-door. Heck, maybe it's worth it to just go rent the mid-size SUV. You can get some deals on rental cars and maybe save yourself some heartache. Last Thanksgiving I was over in San Diego for a soccer tournament, and I'm driving an Excursion with over 100,000 miles on it. It's in good shape, and I take care of it. And I'm thinking to myself, I can't imagine if I had a transmission. I had a transmission failure or a belt failure. Tim may remember. Many listeners probably don't. The belt broke off of that car the day I was supposed to leave. I had to get it towed to the shop. We couldn't explain why it broke off. We put all new components on. It's been fine since. But the point is, if that happened to me in San Diego, I've got some friends that have shops in San Diego, but that happens to the average person, you're in trouble. So again, your car may be just fine, but you're not going to have to worry about it if you're in a rental car. I mean, I got a family of 7. So you imagine you have your family of 7, you're getting ready to come back home on Sunday because everybody's got to be to school Monday, and their car breaks down in Blythe or Yuma or San Diego, or it doesn't even start. Now you got to figure out how you're going to what if you got a major repair? Maybe it needs a transmission. It's going to take a week. Now all of a sudden you got to fly 7 people home, and someone's got to go back. So look at the big picture when you're thinking about using your car for travel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Planning is the biggest key on that. Planning and making sure everything is going to be safe. That's the number one thing.
Yeah. So that's the deal for your Christmas travel. Some of the things you can check at home yourself. Every time you walk by the car, you can see the tires. So this morning when you go to the parking lot, turn the wheel to the left. So when you get out of the car, what's that going to do? If the wheel turned to the left, you're going to see the front of the left side tire and the rear of the right side front tire. Just take a look. See what the tread pattern looks like. See if it's even all the way across. You can take your quarter out, stick it in the tread. If you can see the top of Washington's head, you need tires if you've got less than 30 seconds of a tread. That's about what that measurement is on the quarter.
One of my pet peeves is a clean windshield. And if you have bad windshield wipers, and that's easy to check, and you're driving to California and it starts a rainstorm and it's streaking and so that's an easy thing for anybody can check. And that's $15-$20 for a couple of wiper blades, So
yeah, and you get good ones. Yeah. You can buy wiper blades for $2. Oh my good Lord, they're horrible. Spend $15 and get good ones.
Yeah.
Okay, so what else do we want to check? The tire pressures. Take a peek at the tires. Open the hood. Take a look at.
Check the fluids, and you can see it when you open the hood. You can also see if there's anything obvious thing. Sometimes there might be a leak or something. You can obviously see it. So and then if you do see something and you're concerned, then you give your shop a call and have them inspect it before you go.
And here's the other thing I want to talk to you about. Just because you go to the shop and we tell you you need all these things, some people are really driven by sales. I mean, everybody's in business. It's a retail business. We're here to sell things. You buy, we sell, we fix. That's the process. But if your mechanic or your service advisor tells you, hey, we've got your car checked out, Sally, and you need this and 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 that, I guess my question is, what if any of those things is going to make me break down potentially? I mean, is a transmission flush going to make your car make it? Probably not. It's not. It's a negligible amount. You have a small leak from your valve cover gasket, probably not something that you need to do before the trip. And my advice would be, unless it's a repair that somebody feels is a breakdown or a safety issue, maybe you just wait till you get back from the trip. Because, again, we're all humans. We're mechanics. We're technicians. We're working on the car. Things happen. Brand new parts can be defective at times. Brand spanking new.
That's where it comes in, where you have to communicate with your service advisor.
Yeah.
You make sure he prioritizes what needs to be done and what can wait. I mean, you might have a belt that's worn out. That's important. But like you said, transmission fluid being dirty, that's not going to make a difference.
Or a little bit of an oil leak from a valve cover gasket or an oil pan or something like that. And the point being there is, it's the mechanic's worst fear to do this major work and then you leave. Once in a while, there's a problem. majority of the time the people are around town, but I'd hate like hell to make a repair in your car that really, like, just say we put a rear main seal in your car. You got to pull the engine out, you got to pull the transmission out, something like that. Maybe you got to pull the oil pan down. It's very intricate service and very labor involved. There's no sense in taking that risk right before you're leaving. We can fix that another day. I don't want the exposure, and you as the driver, the owner of the car, certainly don't want to have a breakdown that's created unnecessarily, and it can happen. Some of the other things, make sure you got a good phone charger. Make sure you've got your road service. I'm looking at the TVs in here, and I see the road service. I like the road service, not the Motor Club where you buy it, the Alphabet Soup one. I like the one from your insurance company. Call your insurance. You can add roadside service to your car for a couple bucks a month. It really ends up being nothing. And maybe you want to ask your insurance agent, hey, do I have towing coverage, and do I have accidental breakdown coverage maybe, or what are the kind of insurances are there that we may talk about having? Clean windshield, Tim. The number one thing I think you're going to find the people, especially if you're leaving a warm climate, going to the cold climate, guess what's going to leave you on the side of the road the most is the battery. The shop can test the battery for you. Most good shops today, they check your battery every time the car comes in because it's such an important thing to have done with these electronic systems. Interstate batteries are the batteries of choice for bumper-to-bumper radio. You can go to many of the bumper-to-bumper radio shops. You can go to interstatebatteries.com if you're traveling, and you can find an Interstate battery, hence the word interstate, anywhere across the country. So if you're traveling with your car, an Interstate battery is the brand of battery you want to have. Any questions, you can give us a call, 602-277-5827, 602-277-KTAR. We will be right back for Dan and Louie, and got lots of open lines for you.
There's nothing more important than family. Hi, Kurt Rock for Kurt's Auto Repair. Family owned and operated and bumper-to-bumper radio preferred. We've been taking care of Valley families and their auto care needs with a perfect Better Business record for over 27 years. Come experience the difference our ASE Master Techs can make for you and your family at Kurt's Auto Repair. Just east of I-17 at 22nd Avenue and Bell Road, or online at mycarhurts.com. Gas or diesel, foreign or domestic. If your car hurts, take it to Kurt's.
Ho, 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 and happy holidays!
Bunker to Bunker, the golf show, invites you to celebrate the season at our annual Toys for Tots two-person scramble tournament at the Trilogy Golf Club at Vistancia. Join us Saturday, December 16th for golf, prizes, barbecue lunch, and after party, all for just $89 when you bring an unwrapped toy for the kids. Remember, bring a toy and Santa stuffs your stocking with a coupon for another round of golf. Space is limited, so don't miss out on our last event of the year. Register today at bunkergolf.com.
Her back. Grandma got run over by a reindeer walking home from our house Christmas Eve. You can say there's no such thing as Santa, but as for me and Grandpa, we believe.
All righty, welcome back to Bumper Radio. I am Matt Allen, and I am today your KTAR car guy, along with Tim Nelson from Virginia Auto Service. Timmy, thanks for coming in.
Well, you're very welcome. It's always a pleasure to come down here on a Saturday morning.
I know you like to, but otherwise, I know you'd be suffering having to hang out with me an extra sixth day this week. Hey, I wanted to bring up one other thing that we don't talk about. We always talk about the car, right? Is your car going to make it? Many of us have sore backs. You sit in the car, it's like, you see people get out of the gas station, they're like, oh my God, they're holding their back and they can't get out of the car. So when you get in the car, I work out, I got a trainer, I go to the gym, and I was actually in a little focus group with them today, and talking about fitness and how they can improve and whatnot. But it brings me to the point, you're in that car for 5 or 6 hours, and my trainer taught me this when I first started working at him. He said, Matt, you're a car guy. You sit in the car all these hours, and every time you get in the car, what do? You adjust the mirror, right? So all of a sudden you're sitting in your car, and you're like, rearview mirror isn't adjusted, so I adjust it some more. What am I doing when I adjust the rearview mirror? I'm making up for me slouching down in my seat and having poor posture and all these things that make your back sore. So when you get in your car, sit up straight, get that seat adjusted right, proper seating position where your arms are bent the right way and have the right curvature to the steering wheel. I guess you could Google this, a good seating position, but get the mirror set. And when your mirror you can't see out the rear view mirror anymore, don't change the mirror, change your posture and sit up straight. And that way when you get out of the car at the gas station, your back's not going to be sore and your neck's not going to be sore. So maybe that just make the difference when you'll
feel a lot better if you have to change that tire.
Yeah, exactly. And so maybe we'll get my guys from the fitness doctor in here one of these days to talk about how you can feel good just driving the car and how proper posture while you're driving around will help you. So, again, we've got lots of open lines, 602-277-5827. It's 602-277 KTAR. You can text us, but only if you're driving. I'm joking. Only if you're not driving. Please don't text and drive at 411-923. Maybe we'll answer your back or we'll just answer your question out loud. So we are going to go today, Tim. I got to figure out what I'm doing here. Dan in Phoenix has got a Toyota Corolla. Dan, what can we help you with? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Yeah, it's my father-in-law's 2005 Toyota Corolla. He started it up just fine, drove across the street to Walmart. When he got back to the car with all of his groceries, it wouldn't even crank over. And the battery is fine. I've checked the fuses, and they are fine, and we're out of loss.
Okay, so are you a mechanically inclined type of person, Dan? Are you trying to help him get it started?
Yeah.
Can you see the starter?
I cannot see the starter. I haven't. It just so happened that it happened like 30 minutes before I had to leave for work, so I was able to get over there quickly check it, and I just didn't have time because that's the one where you have to pull the passenger side tire off and then pull the wheel well cover off, and in order to even see the starter whatsoever.
Right. Okay. So battery, we're assuming is good. We think the battery's good. What you want to be doing is just you got to listen for a click or something. What's going to happen when you turn the key? All we're doing is the ignition switch is sending a 12-volt signal down to the starter solenoid to excite it. It's going to turn it on. It's already got the power from the battery, the heavy battery lead. It just needs something to say, hey, start. I want to start. And that requires a 12-volt signal down there. Now, that's got to go through a park switch, a neutral safety switch, or maybe a clutch switch if it's a manual transmission. So if I were doing a test in the shop, I would probably go right to the starter, that single small lead wire that comes from this ignition switch signal, and I'm looking for a signal there with a test light or voltage. We need that. If you have that, then you've probably got a bad starter. So one of the old tow truck tricks back in the day, that's why I asked you if you could see the starter, and I don't think you have to take the wheel well out to get to it, and you don't have to actually be able to physically put your hand on it. But if you can have a pry bar or a long extension or something like that, make sure the parking brake is set, make sure it's in park or neutral, and be safe under the hood. If you have someone turn the key and you just tap on that starter a little bit, you might get lucky and it might start. That's an old tow truck driver thing, because when we were driving tow trucks, it was cheaper to get the people started than it was to have to tow them for the same amount of money that the insurance company was paying or something like that. So other than that, make sure your battery connections are good, and that's a simple fix. There's a few bumper-to-bumper radio shops in Phoenix. They're on the list at bumpertobumperradio.com. If not, check with your friends and family and get a good referral, and shouldn't be a big deal to take care of your Corolla. So good luck with that, Dan. We've got Louie in Peoria. Has got a question about some oil changes. What's going on, Louie? How can we help you?
Good morning, guys. I just got a question about the difference in oil. I use Mobil 1, a full synthetic oil, but I was searching the old interweaves there the other day, and I come across the difference between full synthetic and 100% synthetic. And I'm just wondering what you guys' opinion is on the difference, full synthetic versus 100% synthetic.
I guess it depends on what the definition of is, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
What is full and what's 100%? It's like the ceramic brake pads. Oh, ceramic brake pads was a buzzword. Well, there's no specification. You sparkle a few like a salt pepper shaker of ceramic in there, and now you got ceramic brake pads. So I don't know. Are you talking about the Mobil 1 itself? They have a difference even in the Mobil 1?
No, they were just comparing. They're saying that the 100% synthetic is supposed to be a more pure or more desirable in the synthetics as opposed to full synthetic. And this is the first time I've ever came across a 100% synthetic, diversity. I've never
sounds
seen
like
it
a word game.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a little bit of wordsmithing, but I'm thinking maybe it's a synthetic blend. Like I know, Tim, at our shop, we don't even have a conventional motor oil. We don't use it.
Yeah, we use synthetic blends or full synthetic.
Yeah, a full-on synthetic or a synthetic blend. And a synthetic blend, again, what's the recipe for that? Is it 50-50? Is it 60-40? 20, well, it hasn't been 20 years, but a long time ago. Remember Quaker State? They had performance. Well, that was your 100% synthetic. Then they had the sports car or your performance, right? That was 60-40. 60% synthetic, 40% blend. Then they had the truck and off-road. That was a 60 conventional, 40. It's marketing.
Yeah.
It's what a lot of that is.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, full and 100% are probably the same thing. So I would think.
Yeah, and especially between two different brands. So that's why I was curious if this was two mobile products, because I know there's Mobile One that we always have thought of as just synthetic motor oil. But now you see this mobile commercial that says, don't change your oil, it lasts 15,000 miles. So what's the difference? There must be some additives or something like that. But the other thing to notice, just because the motor oil is synthetic and your car requires synthetic, doesn't mean it's the right oil for your car. Some Land Rovers out there that require a specific mineral-based type of oil. And then there's Volkswagens and BMW and Porsche. They all have their own little separate recipe of synthetic. So it doesn't cover it all. So 602-277-5827. That's how you get a hold of us. We've got Tom and Dave and a couple others, and we'll talk to you in a few minutes.
Having an accident is stressful. Dealing with the repair process shouldn't be. Hi, Leo Petrozella for Campus Body Salon. The right to choose a repair facility is yours, not the insurance company's. We work with all insurance companies, but we work for you. Campus Body Salon, bumper-to-bumper radio approved and independently family-owned and operated since 1973. Check out our Cash for Your Crash program where we pay you 10% off of your repair up to $1,000. Campus Body Salon, the best care in collision repair.
Hi, I'm Dave Riccio, owner of Tri-City Transmission. Well, you may have come to know us for being a transmission expert. What you may not know is that our customers regularly ask us why we don't perform repairs to the rest of the vehicle. You guys are so great. Why work on just the transmission? Well, the requests became hard to ignore, and 3 years ago, we began to build an infrastructure to perform general automotive repair. We weren't going to do general repair if we couldn't be great at it. So in 2013, we began the soft opening of Tri-City Auto Repair on Smith Road. We brought on ASE Master Technicians to work side by side with our Master Transmission Technicians. The combination of the best in both of these trades has created a synergy that allows us not only to fix your transmission, but to service and repair your whole car, and to do it well. Let's face it, the modern car has become so integrated. We believe all of our expert knowledge puts us ahead of the curve. Find us at TricityTransmission.com or TempeAutoRepairShop.com. That's TempeAutoRepairShop.com.
It sounds like they've just had the accurate automotive experience. We're family-owned and operated and have served the Mesa, Tempe, Gilbert communities for over 22 years. We focus on building long-lasting relationships and, oh yeah, listening to you so that we can understand, meet, and exceed your expectations. One location, 14 bays, 88 years of automotive expertise, and a passionate commitment to customer service and excellence. My name is Lee Weatherby, and I approve this message because it's true. We love what we do, and we want to do it for you. Accurate Automotive, the home of friends serving friends.
KTAR-FM, Glendale, Phoenix. KTAR News on 92.3 FM, Arizona's news station. KTAR, on air, 92.3 FM, online at KTAR.com, and streaming live on the KTAR News app. Your breaking news and traffic, now.
It's 11:30. I'm Tom Perumian. Here's our top story. President Trump's tax bill passing the Senate last night, 51-49. ABC's Gloria Rivera runs down the changes expected to be seen.
The elimination of the Obamacare mandate, a corporate tax cut from 35 to 20%, and doubling standard deductions, but abolishing all individual state and local income tax deductions.
Meanwhile, not a single Democrat voted for the bill. It passed again on a vote of 51-49 along party line options. San Francisco on the defensive as it vows to stand behind its position as a sanctuary city. This after a jury acquitted a Mexican man of killing a woman on a popular pier. Defendant Jose Inez Garcia Zarate had been deported 5 times and was wanted for a 6th time to be deported. President Donald Trump called the verdict a complete travesty of justice. Others are calling for a boycott of the city by the bay. And now we check on traffic. Here's Mike Daniels in the KTAR Traffic Center.
Well, thanks, Tom. We do have a couple of disabled vehicles off to the side, one on State Route 51 northbound at Northern, the other on the 10 westbound at 75th Avenue. And a crash off to the side in Tempe on the Loop 101 northbound right there at Broadway. This report brought to you by Trajan Wealth. Lock in your stock market gains. Find out about guaranteed 10% growth on your retirement income with a 10% upfront bonus. Call 480-990-3300 for more information. I'm Mike Daniels, KTAR News.
It'll be cooling off over the next 3 days with clouds and a high today of 81, high of 79 on Sunday. Overnights in the mid to low 50s. Right now 73 degrees in Paradise Valley. Weather brought to you by Howard Air. I'm Tom Perumian on Arizona's news station, KTAR News.
Trust. It's hard to earn and sometimes even harder to find. If you live or work in downtown Phoenix, Matt Allen's Virginia Auto Service is celebrating over 20 years of award-winning service at the corner of 7th Street and Virginia. Recognized as one of the best service shops in the country, their customers have come to trust Virginia Auto Service for its A-plus rating by the BBB, 2-year 24,000-mile warranties, and free transportation to and from your home or office. 20-plus years of earning your trust. Virginia Auto Service. They're serious about service.
Ho, 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 and happy holidays!
Bunker to Bunker, the golf show, invites you to celebrate the season at our annual Toys for Tots 2-person scramble tournament at the Trilogy Golf Club at Vistancia. Join us Saturday, December 16th for golf, prizes, barbecue lunch, and after party. All for just $89 when you bring an unwrapped toy for the kids. Remember, bring a toy and Santa stuffs your stocking with a coupon for another round of golf. Space is limited, so don't miss out on our last event of the year. Register today at bunkergolf.com.
Matt and I share car repair tips weekly to help you keep your car safely on the road, and a few of them are easy to do.
Yep, you're right, Dave. And one of the easiest is to have a dependable battery that you can trust to get you started no matter what the conditions.
Interstate batteries are what we trust at Bumper to Bumper Radio. In fact, they're what we use at our own shops for our customers.
If you're like most people, your car is one of your most valuable investments. Make sure you take care of that investment with the power necessary to get you where you need to be. Interstate batteries are America's #1 replacement brand with the factory fresh guarantee, and they're easy to find at good shops everywhere.
Cars or trucks, Interstate has you covered with long life and performance in our harsh desert climates with products like Megatron Plus that carries a 30-month free replacement and a 6-year performance guarantee.
Interstate batteries. No battery lasts longer. Check them out at interstatebatteries.com.
Who can you trust here in the Valley to repair your ride? This is Bumper to Bumper Radio, KTAR News on 92.3 FM.
I was watching TV, not even paying attention here. I'm watching this little girl with her lawnmower design or something going on here. But we're not fixing lawnmowers today. We're fixing cars. So I'm Matt Allen. You're a KTAR car guy. You're KTAR car guy is what I am today. I'm that guy every day. Bree's over there cheering in my fumbles and my flubbers, and her face is turning red. Tim's laughing at me. Carrie doesn't know what to think. So
hey, we're rocking and rolling.
Yeah, we're rocking and rolling. Who is that, Tim? I don't know.
That is Bachman Turner Overdrive.
I was say Molly Hatchet or one of those, sound like. So anyway, every Saturday at 11, we're here helping with your car. Today we're talking about holiday travel, but we're really going to talk about whatever you pick up the phone and ask us. And you do that by calling 602-277-5827, 602-277-KTAR. You can text us at 411-923. We might text you back. We might just answer your question. I don't know what we'll do. So getting ready to hit the road with the car. I want to get it in, get it checked out, do it a week or so ahead of time. Tim, one of the things we talked about was tires and windshields and windshield wipers. Let's make sure our headlights and our taillights are working, make sure we got a good battery. we had a gentleman that called but had to hang up, so he left Bree with a message was, why do my tire pressure monitoring lights come on when it gets cold? Well, when you have an increase in temperature, you get an increase in pressure. You ever leave a soda can in the car? Kaboom, in the summertime, it blows up. I had that happen once. Brand new truck, too. Diet Coke all over the place. No, it wasn't even diet, so the damn thing was sticky, too, on top of that. So, same thing. When it's cold, it's going to contract. So we get these big temperature swings. I mean, we're having, 30-degree temperature swings right now?
Yeah, it can be 80 during the day today, 81 actually, in my weatherman dabble. And then the low tonight's going to be 53.
Yeah, so you're 40, 37 degrees, round numbers. And so that's why the lights come on. So you just need to get your tire pressures checked and then reset. Sometimes, and that's why they come on for a change in weather. So checking your tires, actually rolling off the freeway after a 3-hour drive and going and inflating the tires, maybe not a good idea. They're supposed to be checked cold. So at the shop, we always air them up. If you're out and about today and you've got your tire light on, go to your local mechanic. Maybe your shop is open today. Discount Tire does a free air check. They can just go get your tire pressures checked, and then those lights, sometimes they just reset. Sometimes there's a procedure. If they don't reset, though, you got to think, if your car is 7 years old and it's got a tire pressure monitoring system, each one of those little sensors has a battery in it. They go bad. They wear out. They're not chargeable. You have to replace the sensor. And don't forget, last but not least, I almost forgot about this.
Spare tire.
Your spare tire. Like I said, we used to have tow trucks, and I spent many nights driving a tow truck. And you don't know how frustrating it is for the tow truck driver or this group of people on the side of the road with a flat tire after you get all the junk out of the trunk and get all the golf and all the garbage that shouldn't be in there in the first place. And you get it out, you pull the spare tire out, and it's flat. Well, first you got to go smack your mechanic. Because you didn't check it we do that. That's what you need to do. That's part of a proper and complete service.
And on some cars, the TPMS light can be on because of the spare tire, because some now in newer cars, the spare tire has a sensor in it.
Yeah.
So
because it's a full-size spare in many cases.
Yes.
But yeah, and how many times in the beginning did we get our butt kicked figuring, what is going on? All these tires are good, the sensors are good. Then after an hour, you're like, duh,
spare tire.
Yeah. So we haven't gotten bit by that animal in a while. We learned our lessons. So we better get to these phones, Tim. Let's see here. Tom in Mesa, Ford Explorer. Tom, how can we help you today on Bumper to Bumper Radio?
Good morning, guys. On the 07 Explorer, I've had a shake. It's at the seat of the pants. I've had it balanced about 3 times in 2 months. They keep on telling me it's good to go, and I just have this shake. It's highway speeds. It's at the seat. It's not the steering wheel. I don't know which direction to go because I don't want to start throwing money into it, and still not being resolved, so I'm not sure which way to go.
And you said you had the tires balanced?
I had them balanced almost every 2 weeks just to see maybe if something was missed, and it's not going away. It's intermittent. Sometimes it'll be more of a shake than other times, but it's on the highway.
And so you can drive through it. Does it, for example, maybe it comes on at 45 and you can get rid of it by the time you get to 55, or does it matter? Does it matter if
it starts around 60-ish, 55, 60, and it goes up. It doesn't really change. It just stays around that area.
Stays in that range. So I guess I would stop looking at the tires. I'd be thinking about maybe a drive shaft or a drive shaft support bearing, maybe a U-joint binding up, or a bent axle maybe.
Very common on Fords.
What's that?
The drive line, drive shaft.
The drive shaft.
Yeah. The support bearing
goes bad.
Yeah. So that's the area I'd start to look at.
Yeah, and go ahead, Tom.
I've noticed too is that on the highway, if I'll be going, for example, like 65, 70, I'll let go of the gas and let it cruise for a second. It'll shake a little bit more.
Perfect symptom. You're probably that to me, I'm starting to now lean towards a drive line issue. A drive shaft. If it's 4-wheel drive, a shop might pull a drive shaft out. You might even be able to find it just off of visual inspection. A good technician might be able to. You're not going to see the vibration, obviously, but you're going to maybe seeing the worn out component. Maybe you might start by removing the front drive shaft and driving the car if it's 4-wheel drive versus a 2-wheel drive. But Tom, you're in Mesa. Tri-City Transmission's the transmission shop that we like in Mesa. The only transmission shop, by the way, that's approved by Bumper to Bumper Radio. And they are very good at fixing vibrations and weird things. So there's other shops in Mesa. You can visit any of them at bumpertobumperradio.com. Tri-City is a good one. You've got GoodWorks, Mesa Auto Works, Accurate Automotive. There is an array of shops available to you in that Mesa area that can help you.
And one thing here, Tom, that information that you gave us just now was great.
Yeah.
The more information, especially when you said that when you take your foot off the gas and you feel it then, always communicate with your service advisor. The littlest thing you may not think is going to cause something or click in our heads, but that really helps.
It's like the FBI.
Yeah.
Any tip is a good tip.
Exactly. So that's
Right?
So make sure whoever you bring that to, tell them exactly what you told us.
Yeah, and that's hey, and the other thing is, if you've got a good shop, you don't need to come to one of the guys. Go stick with your shop. You've got that relationship. That's what's important, is knowing that you can go to somebody, you can have the conversation, you can talk to them. If something goes wrong, it doesn't have to be adversarial. You can just go back, hey guys, something's not working right. What are we going to do? And that's a valuable relationship to have. So 602-277-5827 is the phone number if you want to give us a call. We're going to go with Robin in Mesa with a 2004 Nissan Titan. Robin, how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic. Thank you.
Okay, so it's not a major thing, I don't think, but my Titan I've had since it was on the showroom floor. It's got 234,000 miles on it, and it still runs amazing.
Wow.
But I have this little click that occurs once in a while. It's random, so I've taken it in a few times, tried to explain it. Nobody seems to know what's causing it. It'll just click, 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 click. I can be driving. And it just all of a sudden starts clicking, and then it'll just stop on its own. I notice it more when I turn the air conditioning on, though, but not all the time.
Yeah, I was reading towards that, too, the actuator.
Yeah, so does your car, when you set the temperature in your car, I'm assuming it's a digital. It doesn't have like the slide blue and red dial or slide
No,
lever?
it's a roll. It's still a dial.
Oh, it's old school.
Yeah, it's 2004.
Well, no, but still. So, because you said air conditioner. Before you said air conditioner, I'm thinking it's something under the dash, and especially since you said when I use the air conditioner, it does it more frequent or something to that extent.
Yeah, I notice it more then, but it will just all of a sudden just start clicking sometimes out of nowhere, even if the air is not on.
Well, here's what I want you to. Well, and do you think it's coming from under the dash? It's not. We're not talking about something under the hood or in the back by the tailgate.
I think it's in the dash somewhere.
Okay, so. We're going to get – I don't think – it doesn't sound like something that's – like you said, it's not major. It's not something that's going to cause you to break down or the end of the world. What I'd like you to do is start going through the functions occasionally of the air conditioning system. Change it to defrost, change it to heat, hit it to the floor, change the
recirc.
From recirculation. That's probably
recirc is the most common.
Yeah,
recirculation.
And so the recirc, it might say, I don't know what the Nissan says, but it might have the little semicircle of an arrow, and when you push the button, it lights up, and that just means it's recirculating the car's air, similar to your house. If it's on fresh or not on recirc, it's drawing the air in from outside. And what happens is there's a door basically underneath the dash, and there's an actuator that moves that door. That could be stuck. That's majority of the time. That's what the clicking noises are underneath dashes. So see if somehow you can influence it over the next bit of time when you're really not having to use the air conditioner. Finally, we're finally getting cool. And then maybe for the next couple of weeks, you're not going to need air conditioner coming up pretty soon. You may not even need heat. Leave it off and see if it does it while it's off. If it still does it while it's off, we're going to take a totally different direction. But I'm pretty confident if I had to be guessing and rolling the dice on Vegas, I'd be looking at some sort of recirculation control motor or something like that.
Okay, great. I just didn't know if it's something I needed to have looked at right away, like all of a sudden my air is going to shut off, and, that wouldn't be fun in Arizona.
No, not at all. But just like I said, just try and go through the things.
Modes.
Yeah, the modes, and just see if all the functions work. Because you might get in there and go, oh, this doesn't work, and then it might correlate, and that'll be good information for for whatever shop you use to help figure it out. So great question there, Robin. Thanks for the call, and I guess it's about that time. Bree, what do you think? Want to play some other kind of music? All righty, 602-277 5827. When we get back, we're going to hit some text messages. We got a few emails to answer. We've got Scott in Mesa on his Nissan, and time for a few more calls.
Having an accident is stressful. Dealing with the repair process shouldn't be. Hi, Leo Petrozella for Campus Body Salon. We've taken the stress out of collision repair since 1973, and here's a couple of tips to de-stress your repair. Make your own choice. Some insurance companies try to convince you that you must use their approved shop for your repair. Not true. Arizona state law allows you to choose the facility that's right for you. Beware of the cheapest estimate. Typically, it's the one from the insurance company cutting corners to trim costs or focusing on appearance only. At Campus Body Salon, appearance is important, but structural integrity and safety are even more critical. Campus Body Salon, independent, family-owned and operated, and bumper-to-bumper radio approved. Check out our Cash for Your Crash program, where we pay you 10% off of your repair up to $1,000. Campus Body Salon, the best care in collision repair.
Are you looking for a refreshing change in customer service? I'm Lee Weatherby from Accurate Automotive. How about a refreshing change in your car repair relationship with honest, clear, and responsive service that looks out for your needs and not ours? For over 20 years, we've been delivering award-winning service provided by ASE-certified technicians with one goal, looking out for your best interest. If it needs fixing, we'll tell you. If it doesn't, you'll know that too. I guarantee that you will not get that business-as-usual treatment at Accurate Automotive. Foreign and domestic, cars, trucks, and even fleet service, Accurate can handle your job. I invite you to come in and experience a refreshing difference in car repair and maintenance. Stop by for a free courtesy inspection. A $49 value. We feel it is well worth our investment in you because we know that good long-term relationships start early with your first walk through our doors. I'm Lee Weatherby, and I'll be there to greet you. Accurate Automotive, home of friends serving friends, just off Broadway and Robeson in Mesa since 1992. For more information, check us out at AccurateAutomotiveAZ.com today.
There's nothing more important than family. Hi, Kurt Rock for Kurt's Auto Repair. Family owned and operated and bumper-to-bumper radio preferred. We've been taking care of Valley families and their auto care needs with a perfect Better Business record for over 27 years. Come experience the difference our ASE Master Techs can make for you and your family at Kurt's Auto Repair. Just east of I-17 at 22nd Avenue and Bell Road, or online at mycarhurts.com. Gas or diesel, foreign or domestic. If your car hurts, take it to Kurt's.
Few cities are as car-centric as Phoenix, and this is the show that'll help you to better understand that machine you depend on to get around the valley. It's Bumper to Bumper Radio. KTAR News on 92.3 FM and the KTAR app for Android and iPhone.
All righty, 9 more minutes and this party's over, guys. So if there's something we can help you with on your car, 602-277-5827. Again, 602-277-5827. That's how you get to call us and ask us a question. If you missed the first part of the show, talking about taking the car on the road trip, do it early and often, right?
Yeah, make sure. When you're going on the road trip, just make sure you have your car checked out before you go, preferably at least a week in advance. To make sure everything is good, and if it does need a repair, that the worst thing you want to happen, you go into California Saturday morning, and Friday you bring it into the shop at 3:00, and you need a repair. Okay. And it's maybe it's expensive, so now you don't have the money maybe.
Yeah, maybe messed up the vacation budget.
Yeah, or maybe it's a repair that the part needs to be ordered. And now you can't get the part till Monday.
Or maybe it's a repair that, like I said, when I say you don't really need to do it, meaning, it does need to be done to keep the car in great shape and everything, but maybe is it really necessary to do this repair right before leaving? Tim, a few months ago in the summertime, we had this lady. She didn't tell us. We didn't know. She had just bought this car, and she says, hey, I want to get it checked out. And so we looked it over, and we determined that the timing belt had never been replaced. It was about 40,000 miles past due. Yeah, you probably ought to do this. So we went ahead and did it, and we started working on it. Then we ran into a couple problems. And we said, well, we're really going to need to keep the car overnight. She said, no, I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm going to Texas to pick up a horse trailer. I was like, what? So maybe we as the shop didn't do a good enough job of asking her, interviewing to find out what she intends to do with the vehicle and all these questions that people sometimes think they're being interrogated.
Basically we had that front end of that motor.
Yeah.
Broken down and torn apart.
Yeah,
and she's like literally 8 hours later, she's on the road.
Yeah,
to Texas.
To Texas with a horse trailer, for Christ's sake. So, So that's not the preferred method for the technician. I mean, I had heartburn. I knew what she was doing. She was doing the midnight run. She was going there, picking up a pony and coming back. I didn't sleep all weekend. I mean, I think we ended up staying at the shop till 11 o'clock at night because we finally got the part, and it was a bit of a disaster. I mean, I even offered her my truck because I didn't want this car to go. As a matter of fact, she was in the shop the other day with her Fiat. Oh, the car is so great, blah, 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 everything's perfect. But it's like, thank God, because you just don't know.
Put it that way, Murphy wasn't around that weekend.
Thank God he didn't come and work overtime, I'm telling you. So, we got a call during the break from a chiropractor. One of the things, if you're just tuning in, first thing is tune in at 11, not 11:50, if you're just tuning in. And we talked about one of the other things. You pull up get out of the gas station, you've made it to Blythe or whatever, that 5-hour drive, or heck, maybe it's an 11-hour drive, and you see people at the gas station getting out of the car, their back's hurting, they're reaching down trying to touch their toes, and they can't make it to their knees, and they're slouching. And so I said, get in the car, sit up straight, get that seat adjusted. Not like some of these kids where they're half sit back all the way in the back seat, rolling around, cruising around town, pimping. You want to get in the car, get yourself comfortable, get a good seating position, get your mirrors adjusted. And then when you can't see out of your mirror anymore, sit up again. Don't slouch in the seat. Chiropractor calls and says his number one complaint or people with back problems is having a big old fat wallet in your back pocket, and you're sitting in the car all day. You're out of whack. I mean, probably the same thing at work. Yeah. Not just doesn't apply to the car. So think about these little creatures, not just the car itself, but your body. And how you're sitting in the car and how that's going to make your trip better, too. So a lot to think about when you're hitting the road besides just the car. So, Tim, enough of that yapping. Let's get with Scott in Mesa, 2003 Nissan. I think it's a Murano. Scott, what's happening?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Doing well today. Thank you.
All right. So my question is, I have this issue with my car intermittently. It doesn't do it all the time. But if I'm, like, at a stoplight for a prolonged period of time, when I go to accelerate, it won't go. Like, I'll have to depress the accelerator all the way, and then the speed will come up. And then if I'm at, like, highway cruising speed, even with the cruise control on, you can feel it hesitate. It'll just, it just won't go steadily. So then what I'll do is I'll just pull off the side of the road, turn the car off, turn it right back on, issue's resolved. It's just gone. And I just don't know what it is.
You've got to have some kind of warning light on?
Yeah, I do. It's a service engine soon light.
Okay. Well, you need to get that figured out. What's happening? I mean, I don't know exactly what the problem is, but what I believe is going on is the check engine light, first off, comes on because the car has detected a malfunction or a problem in the emissions control system. Something that has to do with what's coming out the tailpipe has been affected. So federal law says turn on that light. That could be for hundreds of different things can cause that light to come on. But what's happening is the light comes on, it sets a code, but in certain circumstances it goes into a fail-safe mode. So it's only going to allow certain RPMs, maybe a certain timing. The computer's going to fix the timing at a certain amount. It may set a predetermined amount of pressure in the pressure hydraulic lines on the transmission so it doesn't shift any different. So what happens when you pull over and turn off the key?
You're resetting it.
Yeah, that's just like the old Control-Alt-Delete, if you will, on the computer. You're just recycling it or resetting it. It doesn't, it's forgotten that it had a problem because it's got a short memory sometimes. And then when you get in the car and you start driving again, and maybe it's a 2-trip failure, or maybe it has to see the problem for a certain amount of seconds. There's many, many different criterias that turn on the light, even within the same code. And when that criteria is met, the light comes on. And when maybe the second set of criteria or whatever the strategy is, it just goes into that limp mode. I don't think that's going to be a problem for anybody to figure out. So it's just pretty simple. You guys got to go get that fixed. So we're going to squeeze, and I mean squeeze, Marty in Phoenix, 2000 Silverado. It looks like a half-ton to me. What's happening, Marty?
Hey, got a little issue with the truck. When I fire it up, it wants to low idle at about 300 or 400 RPM, 200 sometimes.
sometimes when I first fire it up, it dies. And then if I just shut it off and restart it, it'll start up, and it'll have an idle RPM of around 800 or 900 or, close to it. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't do it all the time. And it seems like with the colder weather, I was messing with this last year.
Okay.
And with the colder weather, it seems like it's doing it again.
Check engine light on?
No.
No. Okay. Wow. Check engine light's not on. Does it seem to do it more so when it's cold? First startup of the morning?
It seems to do it first thing in the morning or worse when it wants to die and then restart. But then I have it after it's been warmed up during the course of the day.
It's fine.
It won't die on me, but it'll slow idle down, and it's like the engine's pulling against itself when it comes to a stoplight.
Well,
and it doesn't want to, it'll eventually pick back up after I run some high RPM on the road.
Well, I had a couple ideas, but you threw me at the last second there with the running. I was focusing more on the starting, but that low idle throughout the day. What I would like you to do is before you start the car in the morning, go out and cycle the key. Don't crank it over, but turn it all the way to the on position and turn it off. And turn it all the way on and turn it all the way off. Do that 3 times before you try to start the truck and see if that has an effect. What I believe might be happening, you might have a weak fuel pump or a fuel pump that's bleeding down the pressure overnight or over a period of time. So what happens when you cycle that key each time, it's going to run the pump for maybe 2 to 4 seconds and reprime the fuel system. That would be a good tip and some good information for your shop if there's any other change. Other than that, you need to take your best information you can in, and I'm sure the technicians that you go to will be able to figure that one out. So thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Bree, thank you for pushing the buttons and making the music play. Carrie, thanks for helping us with the topic. Tim, thanks for coming in and working on it Saturday. And thank you, everybody that's listening, and have a good time and be safe Christmas shopping and doing all your holiday shopping. Have a great weekend.